So, the season of the Drifter is upon us. Obviously, that means we see some changes to the Gambit overall gameplay with Gambit Prime. That's pretty cool. I would have liked to see a few more things in terms of just regular Crucible PvP, whether that just be a couple of guns scattered here and there, or some new maps, or just something. Coming from a PvP mostly guy, like 99% PvP, I would have enjoyed something like that. But, you know, I guess the one SMG from competitive is going to be good enough for now, according to Bungie. Anyway, let's get into Gambit Prime. I didn't really play Gambit that much, so here I am talking about Gambit Prime as if I know anything about Gambit, but I really don't. So it's cool because now I'm playing it again, so that's always something. That's good. That's a +1 for Bungie on their goal, probably. But overall, I do think, I've played a few games, I've gotten my feet wet. I do think Gambit Prime is an improvement overall on the Gambit system. Gambit Prime, it's only one round, which is nice. It goes a little bit, if you're really kind of hating your teammates, then it's a little bit quicker. You don't have to trudge through a couple of rounds where you're kind of fighting with your teammates. If you're not talking to them, it can be kind of a, here or there thing. Which kind of brings to the next point, which is a nice new addition, is the quote-unquote roles, which are kind of a thing, but they don't necessarily have to be. Which is nice. With the new armor sets, it gives you something to go for. If you really enjoy a certain part of the Gambit gameplay, then you can kind of specialize in that. And, I'll talk about them real quick because I don't really know them too much myself. But first we have the Reaper. The Reaper, their goal is to just clear out the ads. So if they get their armor kind of perked up, they can do, let's see what we have here. Damaging a high value target weakens it for allies. That's pretty nice. Defeating multiples gets special ammo. Up to defeating powerful enemies grants temporary surge in grenade recharge rate. That's a little lackluster if you ask me, but moving on. Collector, aka the Moat Goblin. This is the guy that just goes and gets all the moats. It's nice, you can drop some of your moats when you die, if you die. Hopefully if you're assigning yourself the role of Moat Collector, you aren't dying too much, but we'll get into that later with the invaders, because that's where I have my biggest issue with Gambit Prime. Anyway, high yield savings when you have the 15 collector armor points, carry up to 20 moats, you can send a huge blocker. That seems pretty legit. I would probably go with that if I was collector. Sentry seems kind of more what I tend to do with Gambit, even though, like I said, I'm mostly a PvP guy. Invader is not really my thing. I tend to, I don't know, for whatever reason, I kind of just rolled myself into just killing the blockers. I don't know if it was just because the randoms I would play with refused to do it, or anyway, I kind of just am always looking to see when there's a blocker, so I kind of just fell into that role. Looking at maximum sentry points here, you and nearby allies are granted maximum resilience, mobility, and recovery while in the Well of Light. That's, it's kind of cool, I guess, but looking at the Invader set, as an Invader, that seems like it's going to be the most ridiculous set, kind of outshining the other ones. So at just level 3, while you're invading, you slowly get kinetic and energy ammo. That's not too cool. With 6 Invader armor points, you get an improved invasion overshield. That's pretty huge. I think that's kind of annoying. And then at level 10, you get bonus damage once you return to your arena. That's kind of cool. No problem with that. And then at maximum 15 points, Bank Robber. Invading locks the enemy's bank. Stand near the locked bank to drain moats. I can see that being abused. I think people have already mentioned this, but I can just see someone going in there with a defender bubble, planting it on the bank and then just draining moats. I don't know how quickly it drains. I don't know if that's a viable strategy to get moats out of there, but that seems like it could be a problem. But then, you know, I guess Nova Bomb could probably just kill a bubble, and then I'm sure it will work its way out. Who knows? We'll see what happens when the full armor sets are kind of in play. And that leads me to my next point is, you know, it's fun to play Gambit Prime right now, but Gambit I thought was fun to play for the first couple weeks as well. And once kind of more people get these full armor sets and get their teams together that they're always sticking with, I can see it being drastically less fun. The quote-unquote sweaty Gambit players who, you know, have all these like strategies where they're just gonna kill you as fast as you can, even if you're just trying to go and chill. Kind of like almost what you would say is like the competitive versus the quick play people in Crucible. But, you know, that's going to happen no matter what, because people really like Gambit, and that's what they're going to focus on. So you're just going to run into those people. And I can see these armor sets really kind of just adding another layer to that quote-unquote sweat factor of the good teams, which is just going to be annoying for, I think, people like me who don't really care too much about that kind of stuff. And, you know, my team's just going to get steamrolled, and not really much I can do about that if I don't plan on investing the time to get all the armor and the team and the strategy. So I could see myself potentially not enjoying Gambit Prime too much past the first couple weeks, but we'll see what happens. The big problem I have so far with Gambit Prime is the invaders. You know, now that they're kind of focusing on these roles, I feel like they kind of made invasions a more of a thing. So it seems like invasions are happening a lot. And with the way machine guns are working right now, it seems like people will just come in with a machine gun and mow down your whole team. You know, maybe you'll kill them. I've had a couple of teams where, you know, the invader just instantly gets destroyed as soon as they come on our team, or on our side rather. But I've also played most of my games where almost every time the invader comes, we get wiped. Every time we send an invader, they get wiped. When it comes to Primeval phase, that's where it gets really annoying, because we'll do a little bit of damage, they'll come in, wipe us out, our Primeval's at full health, vice versa. They do a little bit of damage to their Primeval, we'll go wipe them, and then it just kind of goes back and forth, and no progress is actually being done to the boss. And then eventually one team just gets all their supers, and then they get that damage bonus towards the end of the game, and then one team just wins. And that kind of seems like an unnecessary prolonging of the game, but maybe that just means that we're really close in skill level, and if, you know, one team was significantly better than the other, then they wouldn't have had that issue. It was just a really annoying game, and that kind of put me off of Gambit Prime for that day. And then, of course, we have the Reckoning, which is where you get the armor, where you get the new guns. New guns is kind of the thing that I'm most excited about. There's only a few. There's like a shotgun, pulse rifle, sidearm, sniper, auto rifle, and hand cannon. I think so. There's quite a few actually, and there might have been some that I missed. But I want some new guns to try out. Not just because that's what most of my videos are about here, but I just want something new to play around with. And so hopefully they aren't too lackluster. I've heard mostly good things about them. I have the pulse rifle myself. Video coming soon, hopefully after this one. And so, hoping to get some good rolls and my hands on some good new weapons. Like I said, I was really hoping for some more Crucible content with this patch, but beggars can't be choosers. I guess I'll take anything new at this point, but that's really, something that I really wish I wasn't saying with every new update. Hopefully something good will come soon. Hopefully we'll get some new Crucible maps that they just will slide in there real nice without really making too much of a fuss about it. But yeah, that's kind of my initial, first week thoughts on Gambit Prime Season of the Drifter. It's not fully out yet, like I said. Tier 3 Reckoning's not out. But that's just kind of my initial thoughts, my predictions for how I think that I will kind of phase out of Gambit Prime in a couple weeks. And hopefully Thorn is cool. I really didn't like Thorn in Destiny 1, but, you know, I'm going to give it a try. So, yeah, let me know what you think of Gambit Prime. So far, I think it's cool. I don't know how long it will last for me to be cool, but let me know what you think. I think it's a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.